Hey guys, welcome to the clubhouse. I'm Billy Jackson. This is my girlfriend Ridgely, and tonight's video is going to be on my number 6 pick on my top 10 worst list, and that is X-Men 3. Now I have to tell you, I'm a huge X-Men fan. It's my favorite comic book property. You know, I love Wolverine being my favorite character of all time. And the first movie, awesome when it came out. I loved it. I thought they had a couple of problems, but was fine with it. X-Men 2 comes out and it's rated probably in the top 5 of best comic book movies of all time. Then everybody gets pumped up for X-Men 3 because here we go with the Phoenix Saga, and only comic book fans are going to know what I'm talking about. You know, you're going to have the Phoenix in the third film, and that's what I was most pumped up about, you know, seeing the Phoenix for the first time. And in case you didn't know, they're doing a reboot of that. It's going to be Dark Phoenix that's coming out next year, and it's with the X-Men First Class and Days of Future Past cast. They're all returning for the Dark Phoenix saga. So very pumped up for that because they needed to reboot it because X-Men 3 totally ruined the character, and that's why I was so upset about this movie. And if you didn't know, that it's also directed by Brett Ratner. And he is a terrible director, in my opinion. And he's the one under the gun for alleged abuse stuff going on. He's the one that Gal Gadot, you know, the actress that plays Wonder Woman, is protesting against. You know, she's saying she's not going to do Wonder Woman 2 unless his company, the Rat Pack, is taken out of the picture. And trust me, they'll be gone because they're not going to lose her. She is the money breadwinner, you know, so they'll be gone and she'll be back on the forefront for Wonder Woman 2. So excited about that. But anyway, about X-Men 3, my major problem was, of course, the Phoenix. You know, they don't have her like the Phoenix in the comic books or in the cartoon show. You know, in any iteration of the Phoenix, this was the worst interpretation of it, and was so disappointed. You know, she wasn't even really a Phoenix. They didn't even have, like, you know, her with fiery wings and a beak, you know, and like an image of a bird in any scene. It was just fire coming from within her. And, you know, she had the power of, you know, destroying people, which the Phoenix does in the comic books, you know, but the Phoenix is a cosmic entity. She's not someone who is born in Jean Grey. She comes down and possesses Jean Grey. She is a force of nature. She's part of the universe. The universe can't survive without the Phoenix Force being around to protect it. And that's what disappointed me about this movie, is that they totally did away with all the important stuff about Phoenix and just made it about Jean Grey being a superpowered mutant called Phoenix. So I was very disappointed in that. But another huge disappointment was the Juggernaut. When I saw that he was in the marketing materials for this, I was real excited because he's one of my favorite X-Men villains, and X-Men being my favorite team of superheroes, you know, I love their villains, Apocalypse being my favorite and Juggernaut being a close second under that. But what do? They make him a mutant. They make him Australian. He has an Australian accent. I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. When he said that, I was so mad. And when they made him a mutant, and for those of you who don't know the Juggernaut, he is actually in the comic books. He is actually the stepbrother of Xavier and hates mutant. He got his powers through a crystal gem of Sidorak. And Sidorak being one of the most powerful beings in the comic book universe, you know, he's definitely in the top 10 most powerful forces of nature in the universe. And, you know, he gets his power in what he's constantly after his brother because he hates him. He came up with the term mutie in the comic books. You know, you're a mutie, you know, picking on him when he was a kid, you know, when Charles Xavier was a kid. You know, and I love his backstory. The whole Juggernaut storyline is just awesome, and I hope they redo that. But when they did this character in this movie, made him a mutant, which he's not a mutant in the comic books, then made him an Australian person, it just angered me to no end, you know. And he was really, really small for like what I think of the Juggernaut. He's like the Hulk size, you know. He's not just a big guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger or The Rock, you know. humongous like the Hulk, you know. And then when they just powered him down, and I was just so disappointed in that. But there are other reasons why this movie is not any good, but those are the two main reasons. You know, they kill Xavier, you know, near the beginning of the movie, and they kill Cyclops near the beginning of the movie. Two of the best characters in the X-Men franchise, and they just kill them off. And I was disappointed in that. You know, I figured maybe the Phoenix might bring them back, but no, they had a funeral for both of them, and that was just enough to make me just upset. You know, sick to my stomach sitting in the theater, like, what am I watching? This is horrible. Horrible. No matter how big of a fan I am, just because it's X-Men doesn't mean I'm going to like it. It's got to be a good movie. You got to have good character development. You got to have good dialogue and great performances by your actors. And that's what the first two X-Men movies did. And that's what X-Men First Class does. Days of Future Past is probably my number one comic book movie of all time. And you know, X-Men Apocalypse was okay. I've got problems with that. It's not the worst movie of all time, but I definitely have some problems with it because Apocalypse is my favorite villain of all time, and they ruined him for me. But it wasn't too bad. It was okay. But hopefully this Dark Phoenix saga that they're doing next year will relaunch, you know, what the Phoenix really is, so you guys can see, you know, those people that don't know about the Phoenix can really see what the Phoenix is. The whole Phoenix saga is one of the best comic book storylines of all time, and I want people to know this story because it's so heartfelt, you know, and it's not a happy story. You know, Dark Phoenix destroys solar systems, and you know, I mean, she kills billions of people. I mean, it's not something that's funny or to be joking around with. I mean, this is serious stakes coming up, so hopefully they nail it right in the movie coming up. So that's my opinion. It's number 6 on my list. So what do you guys think? Have you seen X-Men 3? Did you like X-Men 3? And if you did, that's good, because I want people to like the X-Men. They're my favorite property, you know. So I hope you did like it. You know, I only didn't like it because I'm a true fan of the source material, and I was just disappointed as a super fan. But hopefully you guys liked it, you know, and you know, get some enjoyment out of movies that even I don't like, because that's what makes movies great. They're all subjective. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about it, and remember to like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and always keep in mind to make yourself happy every day. And the only way to do that is to remember, the only thing stopping you is you stopping. Bam!